so I should be on.
Let me look. Yep.
All right, cool. In five, four, three, two, one. Hey everyone,
Meet
and
the
welcome to
Mets.
the this edition of the Orange and Blue Breakdown, where we bring you all things in the world of the New York Mets. I am Dave, aka Captain Caps,
And I am Mets Rock, aka Nick.
and
This week we are a two-man group. What is going on?
Jason is not able to make it tonight. But
Hopefully he'll be back in the near future. He's dealing with the grade 1 left hamstring. No, I'm just kidding. That's Kodai Senga.
all right,
I don't know what his
yes.
excuse is.
Well, we'll deal with the whole Singa situation
Family.
a bit. Yes, family. And before we bring you tonight's episode, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Now let's get right
I
to
want to
it.
give a shout out to our 50 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. We appreciate you guys very much. Now let's
Yes.
get into this past weekend, Mets baseball. The funness of sweeping Washington, and
Yes.
then the hanging of us hanging from the rafters after getting swept by
Yes.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I didn't even bother to put in my bullet points and my notes, but I have that all by heart. So, uh, starting with the National Series, Mets fight back from 3-0 and 4-2 deficits, beat the Nats 5-4 in extra innings on Jeff McNeil walk-off single. And then the second game, David Peterson pitches a complete game 6 hit shutout. Brandon Nimmo homers twice. Mets win 5-0. And then the finale, Kodai Senga pitches shutout ball for 5 2/3 innings before unfortunately going down with a hamstring injury. The Mets hang on in the ninth to win 4-3 for their sixth straight win. Let's break down this National Series first.
I just, I give props to teams that deserve it. Sure enough, the Nationals deserve some props, of course. Um, they got this good pitcher that started Monday night. Who started for the Nets? Gore?
Mackenzie Gore, yes.
I think he's given us the most trouble out of any pitcher on the Nationals since Scherzer was on the team.
Yeah, well, like Scherzer, he is a strikeout pitcher. He was leading the league in strikeouts when he was going up against us.
So, I'm not complaining. He pitched a great game. The Mets fought back. And then the best possible guy to have leading off at second base in the bottom of the 10th inning, pinch running. Like, this guy's going to stay in the majors just because he can steal freaking bases.
Speedsters are not supposed to be slumping.
Luis Angel Acuna, best guy we got on the team for stealing bases late in the game. On a lousy base hit, lazy base hit that McNeil hit, which if anybody else like Alonso or anybody else was at second, he was out. He would have been out.
There'd be a play at the plate.
There'd be a play at the plate.
He scored easily.
Yeah. So great job on him. Great job on McNeil. He's getting hot right now. But you know what? Great game. Mets win. And as I tell everybody at work, because they drive me nuts about this, tell me, oh, the Mets should be blowing these teams out. I'm like, who cares?
A win's a
Who
win.
cares if a win's a win?
Yeah.
I'd rather win the game 1-0 and have another win than blowing teams out.
For sure.
I mean, blowing teams out is nice too. Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
I'm not crazy, but if it comes down to a one-run game, who cares?
Yeah, a win.
Now
let's
talk about our MVP. Most valuable Peterson.
Yes. He
Oh,
came
six
through clutch.
six hit shutout innings against the Nash. A complete game six hitter. The only thing that would have been better than that would have been a five hitter, but
Or a no
ain't
hitter.
complaining. Or a no hitter. Or a perfect game.
Yeah.
We already got no hitters.
The the
Give me
the
perfect games.
the number of, what do you call it? Complete game shutouts in this decade? 3. So
I believe most of them were DeGrom.
one was DeGrom. The second one was Severino last year.
And
And
then the third was.
Peterson, yes.
And you know what? Everybody says, oh, he's going to start turning bad. I just don't see it.
He has blossomed. He has really
I
blossomed into a really good pitcher. I saw something in him in 2020. He was really good in 2020, but then he regressed for a couple of years, and then
Well,
after
didn't
that
he?
hip
Oh, no,
surgery,
that was Miguel. I'm sorry. I was going to say, didn't he have that great year in 2022 before he got hurt? That was Miguel.
yes,
That
and
had
then
the. Yeah.
yeah,
But Peterson last year showed that, you know what? Hey, you need me anywhere, I'm going to be your guy.
for
He
sure.
did that in the biggest stretch of the season where nobody thought the Mets would be going to the postseason. And then pitching it brilliantly at it. This guy pitched in the bullpen last year in the postseason.
And he came through
Wasn't even the
clutch.
starter. Wasn't even a starter.
He was the closer in the most clutch game against the Brewers. Came in the ninth, got a game-ending double play. Mets move on
To
to the
send us to
NLCS.
Philly.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh my god, we're going to Philly. And you know what my mother said?
Mm.
Let me know when there's two outs. I came into the room. She's like, yes. I was like, they won. She's like, you were supposed to tell me when there was two outs. I was like, they turned a double play to end the game. She's like, oh. Because she couldn't watch. She was freaking out.
Oh my gosh. I looked about as pissed off as can be going into the top of the ninth inning, and then when Pete Alonso hit that home run, uh, I couldn't have screamed any louder. I think
Off the best closer in baseball last year, Devin Williams.
yeah. Oh,
Of all players.
John Boy put a really good breakdown on how Devin Williams was tipping his pitches in that inning.
You know what's even crazier? How great of Pete Alonso's hot. The entire team is, well, most of them are hot. But Peterson pitched a great game. Now let's talk about the worst game in the series by far.
Yeah, the pressing game with
Kodai Senga. And you know what? I don't care if he says he pulled it before he got to first. I'm still blaming Pete Alonso. It's his fault. He freaking. How do you throw that ball that badly?
the
You're 5 feet away from him. A little sidearm. Straight to the guy. The runner's out. If Senga still gets hurt, fine.
Mm-mm.
But let's talk about. I don't like to talk badly about people when they're not around to defend themselves. But let's talk about the biggest loser in the Mets bullpen. A guy that can't even hold down a 4-0 lead. And Jason, if you're watching this, you know who I'm talking about. Ryan Stanek. How do you have a 4-0 lead? You need to get 3 outs. How do you make a game out of it? How? How do you make a game out of it? This guy needs to go to. You know what? I want to talk about a trade later on, just so you know.
He went that whole. He faced 3 batters, didn't retire one, and the Mets had to bring in
Diaz
Edwin Diaz to put out the fire, and even that, this close
was sketchy.
This close.
Do we even want to talk about Tampa Bay? Do we really? I mean,
Unfortunately, we
let's just
do.
call let's just call it the way it is. Mets got swept by Tampa Bay. They got humiliated at home by the Tampa Bay Rays. Like, I don't know what's more humiliating, us getting swept by Tampa Bay or the Yankees getting swept by the Boston Red Sox. That's how bad it is. I can't even defer what was worse this weekend.
I'd say the I'd say us getting swept by the Rays, but to give the Rays credit, they have a good team. They've been very good as of late. So we were in for a dogfight for sure. But that first game should have been won. Paul Blackburn comes in with a 5-1 lead. Next
Okay,
thing you
can
know,
somebody answer me this? Why did you put Blackburn in the game when you have him starting on Wednesday? That did not make sense to me.
I mean,
And you know
possibly
what?
to
Better
give him some
question.
work.
After us getting swept by Tampa Bay, why is Frankie Montas not up? Or Mania?
Montas, to be fair, he has not been sharp in his rehab starts, so that has raised a concern. Um, if he was
Yes, but
effective, that would be one thing. Mania, on the other hand,
I know he
has been
just
effective.
started his rehab, but you know what? At this point, you need to. You
Well,
got a 10-game stretch coming up that could decide your fate.
well, I do know Mendoza said that he is not going to rush either Montas or Mania, so
He should, though. This
unfortunately,
is important. It's a 10-game stretch against your arch rivals.
yeah, grant you.
Okay, now let's get into the fun part of this show.
Yep.
The rivalry week. Actually, no. Let's cut back for a second. Back to the Red Sox series real quick. There was a trade Sunday night that really didn't make sense to me. I don't know if you saw it. ESPN
Is
announced
this
it.
the one with Rafael
Devers.
Devers getting traded to San Francisco?
Yeah, the Red Sox traded for minor leaguers for Rafael Devers.
Well, I mean, David
That's
Ortiz
crazy.
did quote as saying Devers had to let his ego get into the way, so
Okay,
he
yeah,
might have
but you,
just.
you just swept the Yankees and you trade your superstar.
But
Like
be
you're
that
6.5 game. You're basically blowing your chances at making playoffs.
yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Little tangent there.
Uh,
Going with the
I know I'm not a Red Sox fan. I mean, I do have a David
I'll say
Ortiz jersey in my closet,
people
which the next time Jason comes, I will show him that.
people
Um,
tell me like, why am I suffering as a Met fan to join the Yankee bandwagon? I tell them to their face, I would rather be a Red Sox fan than join the Yankee fan base.
Anybody else?
uh, but yeah, there's not much else worth recapping in that Rays series. Canning got
Let's
shelled,
pre.
and McGill got hammered, both of them. So
So
enough
the
said.
only saving grace is that we got Peterson going on Wednesday. No, when's Peterson's next start?
Peterson's next.
Tomorrow? Yeah, Peterson starts tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that would make sense because Senga's supposed to pitch on Wednesday.
Yep. So Peterson tomorrow, and then it's supposed to be Blackburn the next day. So
And then Canning? No, Miguel.
I'm thinking Clay Holmes.
Okay, he pitched good against the Rays. The Mets bullpen cost us that game.
Yeah. Oh, that game with Blackburn pitching. That's going to be a bit of a mismatch. So the opposing pitcher is Chris Sale. It
Oh,
it's like
oh man.
it's like you have a main event at
I'm so
WrestleMania.
glad.
One of the main eventers gets knocked out with an injury, and then you
I,
replace him with a
you get Paul
jobber.
Blackburn.
You get replaced by the
Oh
jobber.
god. Speaking of wrestling, real quick, Goldberg just returned on Monday Night Raw to
Ah,
challenge the World Heavyweight Champion
why?
to a match at
Why?
Saturday night's main event.
Why?
Sad part is, I think if Goldberg was in his prime, I'd say he'd win that match.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, not to talk. Maybe we should do a wrestling show, you and me, David,
yeah. And then
once a week.
yeah. Um, well, my next pay per view of interest is going to be the All In pay per view on for
Oh
AEW.
god, I hate it. I hate AEW.
See, like there's guys I do have interest in, so
Who, uh, who's the world champion right now in AEW?
John Moxley.
Oh, okay, he was
Yeah.
good in WWE.
Yeah. And then but I've liked Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada since their New Japan days. So and they're
Does Moxley still use the same finisher that he used in WWE?
he does a elevated double
The
arm DDT.
like the guy's arms are like this and
Yeah. So he butterflies the arms and then
okay,
drops
so
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the same finisher.
Yeah. Now back to
Um,
our originally scheduled programming. Finale of is going to be Clay Holmes against Spencer Strider, and Strider hasn't been
so we might
exactly
win
strong.
one of those games. We
Yeah.
might just win one game against them. Okay, going into that next series, I was actually looking forward to the Phillies, because of how we played against them the first time. Uh, we got, let's be honest here. Did the Mets take 2 out of 3 from Atlanta? I know we got a chance with Peterson pitching and Clay Holmes.
I'd say 2 out of 3,
Still,
but the Blackburn,
that's the only question mark.
yeah,
Maybe Budos should start.
he's been a starter, so but
That's why I said, "Hey, what's that rookie from last year that had Tommy John surgery?
Christian Scott.
Let's see if he wants to come pitch with one arm.
Well, we
He
got
might do better. He might do better with one arm than Blackburn would say. You know what's so sad? It's the truth. I'm not kidding.
Good lord.
Um.
I hope
Okay.
I
So
hope he surprises us. He did
if
surprise us with five
if we
innings against
sweep,
the Dodgers.
I'm gonna say this: if we sweep the Braves, they're done. They're done. In all seriousness, I think the Braves are done if we sweep them.
Yeah,
All right,
they're
so
not showing
now
any signs of
let's
getting
go to let's go to Philadelphia real quick.
Well, and you know
Um,
that the series opener in Philly is going to be an Apple game, and Tyler McGill is
I
going to be
think all 3 games are shit show games.
Yeah, and Tyler McGill
Saturday
is
is Fox,
oh,
and Sunday is ESPN.
lovely. Our favorite announcers.
All 3 of you know what? They should just hire Michael Cole. He probably would do a better job on Fox than these guys.
Or well, he's not
Gary
around
Cohen.
anymore, but
I would
haven't heard
take
of
Joe Buck. I would take Joe Buck over these guys on
swing and a
Fox.
miss, monotone. But hey, even
And for
if he
those
were
of
still
you
around,
who don't know who Michael Cole is, he's the voice of the WWE.
Yeah.
That's how bad these announcers are. That I would take Michael Cole, who reads off a script, over these guys that call the games on Fox and ESPN.
Terrible. Terrible.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like me and David could do a better job commentating on the game than those guys.
We would be Jim Ross compared to
Yeah, I'm Jim Ross, you're Jerry the King Lawler. Okay.
Or I could be Taz.
Okay, yeah, Taz too. Or JBL. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled programming of the Mets podcast. Honestly, we got Peterson on game 3 against the Phillies.
Yep.
You would think, right? All right, so
Yeah, the scheduled pitchers for Saturday and Sunday have
McGill.
not been determined yet.
Yeah, but if you would think Peterson would be one of them.
Yeah.
And then maybe Montas?
Maybe Montas, or if Montas is not ready, then it's probably going to be Griffin Canning.
How did he do against the Phillies the first time?
Probably well enough since we swept them.
Unless he didn't start in that series.
Right. I know I got my archives somewhere with
no, I'm gonna look. Hang on. Please hold for this very important. Actually, Miguel got the start the first time.
Oh, alright.
And the reason why the Mets only won the game 5-4 was because somebody gave up 4 runs in the 9th inning. Oh, it was Max Kranick. McGill started against the Phillies. He gave up 1 hit and 5 in the third with 4 walks and 10 Ks. Is he starting against the Phillies?
McGill? Yeah, he's starting the Apple game.
Okay, so that's a good sign right there since he had a good start the first time. So that's promising. Oh, Canning did get a start against the Phillies.
How'd he do?
5 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts.
Oh. Not bad at all.
And then to be determined. Oh, the last game was a walk-off.
Yes.
But Peterson started that game. 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 Ks, but that was before he became the GOAT. And you know what? If Peterson can... Because now, if you really are a Met fan, get on to MLB.com, cast your votes, because your votes matter. Send them to the All-Star game. Yes. We have a lot of people that deserve to be in the All-Star game.
Very much so.
And you know what? I did officially hear that somebody's already one of the leading vote getters in the National League. Lindor leads shortstops.
Finally.
Pete Alonso's also on the list. But he's behind
Freeman.
Freddie. Which, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, as long as
like, if Pete gets into the All-Star game as a reserve, who cares? He still gets there.
As long as he gets there.
Who else? Soto is 4th on the list.
All right.
In outfielders, but I think that guarantees you a spot in the All-Star game.
At least
it does.
It should get at least a reserve spot, no?
That's not how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be...
They only guarantee the starters
the
spot, and then they start another round of reserve voting.
And then Dave Roberts is going to have to pick the rest of them.
Well, he'll pick the start. the pitchers.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Which, I mean, I would think he would pick Diaz because that's an obvious choice. Um, I think if Peterson keeps going the way he's going, he won't be stupid enough to not pick him. He won't let egos aside. He won't do something erotic.
Well, we'll see what happens.
And then to finish off the upcoming series. All right, so we got the Braves coming. Braves 10 times. We got 10 games in a row starting tomorrow night. We've faced the Braves 7 of those 10 games.
It's time to get it done, boys. Put this Rays series behind your backs and just move on forward.
Sweep our way through to finishing them off. Imagine the craziness if the Mets find a way to sweep their way through.
That would be nice.
The Mets take 10 straight games and just put away the Braves and push the Phillies further back.
Yes, yes. All right.
That would actually be fun.
Now
so I do have one quick update because the Phillies are on tonight, and they lead the Braves 3-2 in the ninth. They lead the Marlins 3-2 in the ninth.
Oh, great!
That will be 2 games up on the Braves, the Phillies at the end of tonight. Okay.
All right. So now we go on to latest injuries and all that jazz. So Brooks Raley, he's scheduled to start a minor league rehab assignment starting tomorrow with at Port St. Lucie. So it's gonna. Mets officials are expecting it to last maximum 30 days. So stay tuned with that. So he'll be back for
I'm not unhappy with that.
Yeah.
Having back for the second half. Especially after Tommy John surgery, that's great.
Yeah.
Another big update. Somebody that had a hamstring strain in LA. I forget his name because there's another third baseman that's probably not going to be a starter when he comes back. But I can't remember his name. Can you help me? I think his name was Mark.
Vientos.
Yeah. Okay. Mark Vientos starts Just so you know, I was being sarcastic.
But I had him right by me, so I just improv'd right there.
Mark Vientos is starting his rehab assignment tomorrow night in Syracuse, which maybe this will be signs to come that maybe Kodai Senga will be back sooner than expected.
But speaking of third baseman, Brett Beatty, he tweaked his groin just yesterday, going after a foul ball. So he's
okay. It's a groin injury. It's a groin injury. That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So
I'm being positive, and this has come from a guy that hated Brett Beatty. Yeah. But I'm starting to like his defense for some reason.
I can't. Really good at third as far as defense.
Why do you think I don't think Vientos has a job when he comes back?
But
maybe Marte could sit down and we put Vientos at DH.
That might be the plan, but even Marte, he's been hitting as of late.
Okay, I think Vientos might be a bench player when he comes back.
Well, we'll see. It's getting to be a crowded roster. Even with Mauricio and there, it's a crowded infield.
Oh shoot! I forgot. We got Mauricio. We got to think about.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, maybe Vientos will be in AAA when he gets Because who are you gonna send down?
Yeah, that I wouldn't want to be Stearns to
face
that decision.
you gotta think about it. Who are we sending down when Vientos comes back? Mauricio's playing good. You ain't sending down Acuna
Right.
because that would just be idiotic. And you're not sending down Brett Beatty.
No.
Vientos might be in AAA when
This
he
will be
comes back.
interesting. This will be interesting. And
But
then,
but
yeah.
you know what? Here's another thing.
Yep.
Do you really want to send down the guy that was a big part of the reason why you went to the LCS last year?
Yeah, I mean, Vientos was great. I mean, he clutched. I mean, he's facing a sophomore Jinx this year, but I expect he'll come around. He's got,
It's just scary that we have such a deep roster
yeah.
that
So
we're.
I think someone's getting traded, whether we like it or not.
Wait,
Someone,
I got an idea.
mm.
We send down Ryan Stanek.
Him and it, yeah. Well, after that finale where he gave up 3 runs, his ERA is now almost 5. It,
Okay, yeah. I don't you agree? Maybe we should send down Ryan Stanek.
well, I wouldn't miss
Got
him.
one less arm. I wouldn't miss him. Jason might, but we're gonna hear about this. You know that, right? Talk all this crap about Ryan Stanek and he ain't here.
And he was saying, Jason was saying he was our savior.
I think he's our killer.
He's our
Executioner.
he is to us what the Nationals were with Sean Doolittle when he was facing us. It's like the
Oh
opposite
man,
effect.
that's a name right there.
Yeah,
Sean Doolittle.
I used to post how much I loved Sean Doolittle, more like us kicking his ass.
Man, it's pretty sad when we gotta talk shit about one of our pitchers, but not really.
When
So
he's getting pounded game in game out, well, yeah.
all right, so Ryan Stanek's going. Sorry, Jason. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's my official prediction. Um,
Oh, and we haven't even gone through our starters going through rehab. So yeah, Montas, um, he's making one more start this week, and then
and then the Mets got to make a decision.
yep. So his rehab window is over after that. So he's gonna get called up one way or another. Manaya, he started his rehab assignment just 10 days ago with the Cyclones, and he needs 2 more rehab outings before he's activated. So there's that. And then, of course, we talked about Senga. Thankfully, it's just a grade 1 hamstring strain. He's shut down for 2 weeks and then reevaluated, which hopefully he'll be ready to go by the All-Star break.
Which really stinks because he was probably an all star this year, too.
Yes. And then Winker and Siri, they have suffered setbacks, so they're still weeks away from returning. So,
Well, the one positive is we don't have a spot for them.
well, we also have signed Travis Jankowski to a minor league deal, so he's our
We don't have a spot for him either.
yeah.
Unless we start trading away players,
Yeah, this is
which would kind of be stupid.
some crowded roster. It's a good problem to have. It just comes to show the depth.
It kind of feels like 2006 all over again, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just hopefully, like we'll have a deep bullpen to carry us through the postseason. I still
I don't,
maintain when Dwayner Sanchez went down that the bullpen was shot.
I don't think we even had this much of a deep roster in 2015 when we went to the World Series.
No, I mean,
All we really had was Grandy and Seth
yeah, I
and Wright.
mean,
And the banged up David Wright.
yeah, our depth was in our pitching. Um, I mean, we were
This year
able to,
we really got a little bit of everything.
yeah, I mean,
We got good pitching, good hitting,
yeah,
good
good
defense.
defense. We got a crowded outfield. This is a good problem to have. I think it's going to get to the point where some of those prospects are gonna be traded for some rentals.
I hear the Mets are looking into maybe a reunion.
DeGrom?
DeGrom.
I'd love to see that.
Imagine we get DeGrom.
Welcome back. Oh, this fan base will be
Im-
so happy to see him again.
Imagine that Imagine that rotation. Manaya, Montas, DeGrom,
Senga.
Senga, Peterson. That's a scary
I would
rotation.
replace Montas with Holmes.
Pending what he does on his return.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you know what? We could also go six man. And then
Yeah.
whoever has the better season at the end of it will be our starters in the postseason.
Yes.
Which is how I do it in MLB The Show. I choose my best four and I say, okay, starter, 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 reliever, reliever.
Yep.
I once had a rookie start for me in the postseason game. Threw a perfect game in a clincher.
Nice.
Um,
Oh
is
my.
there any historical facts?
Oh man. So I'd have to go all the way back to June 10th, and we missed a lot of stuff over the last like 16 days. So like we missed out on May 31st having the longest doubleheader in history. In 1964, there was a game that went 23 innings long.
I
Um,
thought we had a show on May 21st, 31st.
it was, I think it was May 30th or the 29th because I started covering May 30th on my bullet points. So it's
Okay.
gotta have been the 29th or 28th. Uh, we missed out on Nohan.
Johan.
Yep, we missed out on Eduardo Escobar hitting for the cycle on June 6th. Um, there was also Bobby Valentine getting ejected from a game on June 9th
And
of
then the
90.
mustache
Yes!
and
um, the Grimace debut, I believe that was June 12th of last year.
oh man, that guy. Best thing that ever happened to us last year.
Oh my gosh. And oh, I loved all the Wish Temu grimaces, especially that one that was chugging down beers during that rain delay. Did you see that?
Like, you know what? Grimace, OMG,
The Padres are trying
true
to
MVPs to the Mets.
bring the OMG sign, but it doesn't have the same magic this year in San Diego.
Yeah, but I think Iglesias said that it belongs to the Mets, so we won't use it.
Yes. And then
Which, thank you, Iglesias, and you were dumb enough to go to the Padres.
hitting
We'll
230.
deal with you when we see you in San Diego.
Yeah. Trying to find more for June 15th. Oh, June 15th was a very dark day in Mets history.
Oh, is this the Tom Seaver trade?
Yes, the Midnight Massacre. One of the
Which
darkest
has
days
put
in
us
the franchise
in the
history.
dark for years.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a thought when that happened.
Nope, neither was I. I think Jason was just born that year.
He might say no, that's not true, but you all know you're way older than us, Jason.
uh, yeah. And then June 16th is the first regular season game between the Mets and the Yankees in June
Uh,
16th, 1997.
what's his name? Who was the starter?
Dave Malicki.
Complete game shutout against the Yankees.
Yes, scattering 9 hits, striking out 8.
Against the defending champs, that's pretty good.
For sure. All
They
right.
didn't have these back then either.
Nope, that was a 99 thing.
98.
98, yeah.
Well, 98 they started with this, but with the blue run.
Right. Yeah, those black jerseys, I have a spot for that, but I like my traditional
You know, I will say, it makes you look like a Yankee.
until I flash the orange and blue. Yep. And any questions, comments that we're seeing in the
I didn't see anything.
All right.
When I last looked, but I can check again.
All right.
Nope, we're good.
All right, then we could just go ahead and wrap this up. All right, so that is it for this edition of the Orange and Blue Breakdown. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. Again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. For
I'm Nick, aka Mets Rock.
And I am Dave, aka Captain Caps, and we will talk to you again next week. And until then, let's go Mets!